The Walking Dead, The Walking Dead. There are rumors about The Walking Dead, The Walking Dead. This is not the official theme song.
Honestly, though, I think you have a case for one. Send that into AMC.
Yes. Do it,
way
AMC.
better than the no thing.
Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere.
The Walking... I like it. I want that to be my ringtone. It's great.
So, we are at episode 10 of season 8. And I think I really, let me just say, I like this one a lot based on how much the timeline jumps around. So due to that, I'm going to be jumping around talking about...
it's a weird one to summarize.
It really is. It's hard to follow, but, in words.
It was done very well, the episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's done really well. But it does start with Rick and Michonne.
Right.
They've just buried Carl. They're driving down the road, and Rick basically asks Michonne, what do you think Carl meant by, his letter to Negan? Which
that's the first episode. This is the episode where we find out that he wrote one.
Oh, okay, so yeah, he writes a letter to Negan. Oh no, he asks Michonne
just what he meant by the whole thing.
What did he mean by the whole there needs to be something after.
Yeah.
And of course Michonne's going through the letters, and she finds out Carl not only wrote a letter to everyone in their group, he wrote a letter to Negan. So you don't find out what's in that letter until almost the end of the episode.
But it doesn't show it to where we can read it unless you pause it, right?
No, but
could you pause it and read it? Have you done that?
I didn't do it. You could have, but I mean, Rick sums it up because he does read it.
I want to hear the whole thing.
Yeah.
I want to hear the whole thing. I want to hear it read by Negan or Rick. But
so what they do, the one thing that does annoy me about this episode, or that did annoy me, is they kept showing people's names.
Yeah, I was so confused.
And they were all... Okay, I'm totally for them, using people's names, but of the side characters. Everyone knows Rick, Michonne, Carl, Daryl, Negan.
Yeah.
And, the main characters, the main cast, everyone knows their name because their names are constantly being shouted out or talked to or mentioned. It's the side characters like Simon. It's hard to remember his name. Gary from last week. We couldn't think of his name because they never use their names.
So that's what was annoying you?
Well, it annoys me they use Rick.
For the beginning of each thing, right?
Yeah, for each segment, they kind of chopped up the episode, and I didn't like that they did that. You didn't have to introduce the segment. You could have.
Yeah, I thought it was odd because the whole time I was trying to just figure out why, and I could. And by the end of the episode, I still didn't understand. I thought maybe it would make sense.
Yeah, I thought they were going to explain it.
So I was saying, is it everyone Carl wrote a letter to? Then Jadis came up on the screen. I was like, never mind. There goes that theory.
Or I thought, is this going to be an episode where we see the same thing but from different points of view?
Yeah, exactly. And it went nowhere.
It was weird.
Yeah.
But what I liked that they did was there's a lot of there's time skipping done with this. There's at one point you kind of see these different storylines going, right. And then they would merge into another storyline you'd be watching, but you would
get a different perspective.
Yeah, you would see okay, well, this is how that happens, right. How that leads up to that
connects
point.
The dots.
Yeah, connects the dots later on. For instance, so they're going to Rick tells Michonne while they're in the car, we have to go talk to Jadis and the Junkers because they're ours.
Yeah,
they're not
that's right. And
theirs.
then they get there.
Yeah,
and then they're like, what happened?
They get there, and it's almost like a trap's been set for them. That's what I first thought.
Yeah.
So,
they thought it too, probably.
But the entrance collapses behind them, and then there's all these walkers in there, and you just think that they're just walkers, and
right.
that, like I said, they walked into a trap, and then you come to find out, Negan sends Simon off to deal with the Junkers, and due to the conversation that Simon has with Negan, Simon wants them wiped out.
Yeah, and Negan just wants them to kill one and say,
yeah.
Listen, just keep going.
Keep doing the typical formula because they are a resource.
We save people.
It's not easy. All that stuff. So, but it's all of Negan's scenes were really good in this.
Which Simon had a good point. He said it hasn't been working lately, and I was kind of like, "Preach it, Simon."
Not getting the message.
Yeah.
No matter how many times we teach it.
Yeah.
And then of course that also happens when the Hilltop sends them a coffin with one of their guys in it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Which that doesn't.
But yeah, so Simon
Negan.
Yeah, Simon goes there.
Goes to the junk place.
Kills everybody.
But how he does it? You think he's only going to kill one,
sad.
But he basically eggs Jadis on to hit him, and then once he gets hit, he's like, "Oh no!" He's just like, "I don't think you're sorry, or I don't think there's remorse."
Yeah,
and so he just starts shooting.
And that's the first time you hear
what he did was he ticked her off because he killed not one but two.
Yeah, that's right.
He broke the Negan rule.
Right, he killed the dude first, and then
first he killed the old man, then he killed the other.
Both of whom I was kind of like, because they annoyed me every episode they were in.
Because they talk in that wonderful junkyard talk.
And so that's what I was gonna say. That was the first scene where you hear Jadis actually sound like a person. She's like, "There's remorse," she like yells.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, she's a human being, and that's when you kind of start feeling bad for her.
Also, there's a little bit of an inconsistency here. We'll get. Oh, he asks Jadis about. He's like, "There's a helipad in the back, and you guys have solar panels. What was this place before?" And she's just like, "Just junk."
Yeah,
like it's almost like it's always been just junk. This is before he massacres everybody. So of course he leaves Jadis alive, and that leads up to Rick and Michonne coming there.
Yeah, they find her.
All those walkers are her people that have all been killed. Of course, she's sad. I don't know why she's suddenly wearing a white.
Yeah, she's like gotta
gown.
change. Because it didn't look like that could have been under what she was wearing at first. I was like, what?
Yeah, it looks like a nightie or something.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, that part was weird. So, okay, so she tells Simon that thing about, it was just
nothing.
junk. And then she tells Rick and Michonne, she's like, it wasn't all heaps. It used to just be junk as far as you can see. But then again, so what was the thing about the helipad? And
also, what does that mean? Panels? It wasn't always junk. It wasn't
always heaps. It was just flat. Like, it's almost like they piled the junk up to kind of shelter them out. But it was still weird. Like, I want to know about these solar panels and what's going on with that?
Yeah, but I guess
I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with her.
We may never know. So she asks Rick for help. Rick and Michonne get out, and Rishon.
Accidental shit name.
But they don't help her. They leave her there to die.
Yeah, basically. I was sad. I felt bad for her.
Well, it's like they keep just double crossing and being hard to deal with.
But now she's so broken and sad.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So
she got out and she ground all her people.
Okay.
Which was
and
crazy.
I loved how they led up to that, because it looks like, from our perspective, that she is just she has gone to a spot and she's attracting them to where she is by, banging like metal stick on metal. And you think like, okay, is this like where her throne is? And she's just going to have them eat her there or something like that.
Yeah, I was almost thinking that. Yeah.
Yeah. She was like committing suicide, but what she's actually doing.
Yeah.
Is luring them in.
Making some fresh meat like she's at Arby's.
Yeah. It's like a mincer, and like basically all the walkers get minced up, and it looks like
that's
chili.
Some stank right there.
It looks like chili.
Yeah. It was gross.
It was definitely
and disgusting. Bad CGI.
Yeah, the CGI was not good.
Every time it showed them in there, I was like, stop!
They were just like,
I saw like legs and arms, and I was just like, no!
Yeah, and you didn't need to show that. I mean, like, I know they were going for like a gore effect there. And also,
it looked bad.
I would like to know, Simon made a comment about her painting. How did the painting get from basically the entrance of the junkyard to where this meat grinder is?
Did it?
Yeah, because you see blood splashing up on her painting, and it's supposed to be like symbolic, because now her paint, like because she said this
canvas.
This place is the canvas, and we are the paint. Yeah, literally now. So,
or the painting is tarnished because they're all dead.
And then the other time they do the whole timeline split thing,
Negan.
Simon comes back, tells Negan like, "Hey, everything went A-okay," which I don't understand how he thinks he's going to get away with that.
Yeah, that'll be fun to see because it didn't show it.
Because he has a bunch of guys with him that are. One of them is going to tell Negan.
And Negan's going to find out too. He's going to be like, "Why aren't we getting stuff from them?"
Right, one way or another, he's going to find out eventually. So it's like, okay, Simon, dude, what is your next play?
I'm wondering if he's like wanting to like take over. Honestly,
well, there was the theory that we were throwing around before when Negan in that episode 2 or 3 or 4. It's the one where
2 or 3.
Negan was stuck in the trailer with
Gabriel.
And he said that there was someone else there who was in charge, but like all this, bad stuff was happening under his leadership, so he took over. There was a theory that was Simon that he took over.
Well, I feel like Negan would have killed that guy.
Maybe.
I don't know.
So, yeah, I just don't know what Simon's next play is. But he comes back, he lies to that, and lies to Negan. He's got the blue paint on his shoe from when he got hit by, what's her name? Jadis. Got it already, AMC. Jadis hits him and he fell over and he got some paint on his boot. So they're still talking about what they're going to do with Rick and the others in the hilltop. And at some point, someone comes over to Negan with a walkie and says, it's Rick. And then it switches over to where
Rick reads the letter.
Yeah, Rick
that Carl wrote, right?
Yeah, Rick reads the letter from, but it was something. Does he read the letter to himself?
No, it's the one to Negan. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Okay. So that
which
makes
is not
sense.
cool. You're not supposed to read other people's mail.
Federal offense.
I know. I was kind of disappointed because I honestly was looking forward to like them finding a way to get it to Negan, and not just having it paraphrased to him. But whatever.
Well, so I'm kind of, my memory's a bit hazy as to what happens next.
Well, he calls him and he says Carl says.
Does it happen that quickly?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he calls him. He said Carl's dead, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And like Negan, like actually, is
he
like,
legitimately
sorry.
sounds sorry, and he's just like, "Is it what we did? Was it the grenades?"
Yeah. He's like, "It wasn't you. He was saving someone else.
He went out to help someone.
Carl
was bit." And then Negan just like tears into him. He's just like, he's just basically
failed.
like, "This is your fault."
But first Rick tells him, Carl said we need to stop, blah, blah, and then he's like, Carl's right, you do need to stop. And then Rick Negan like just assaults him verbally by saying that he was failed as a father and blah, blah, blah. And then Rick's just like full on, I'm going to kill you. Yeah. Again.
Well, Negan's just like, how many more have to die? He's like, just you.
Yeah. I was like, dang.
He really wants Negan dead. So it'll be interesting
to see what happens there. New developments also with the Oceanside people.
Oh, gosh.
Aaron's still trying to get those people to come over and help them. Somehow, honestly, I was surprised.
I lost interest at that part of the storyline. Yeah. I really did.
But honestly, I was surprised. Enid and Aaron were being held by them. And Enid literally just talks to the girl, let us out, and then she's like, okay. And I was like, it was that easy?
Yeah, there are moments of the show where it's just kind of, things just seem a bit too convenient.
Yeah. I was like,
okay.
All right. Yeah. But now Aaron says he's going to go back and get him to do it somehow, and he's not even going to go there. I was kind of like, what do you... So I guess we'll find out. Yeah, I guess we'll find out.
What are you doing here?
You remember what point this episode left off at exactly?
I think it was after that talk with Negan.
Probably.
With Rick.
But, so, we still don't know what that scene was where Rick's sitting under that tree.
Okay.
With his hand all bloody.
But I think... So I actually saw that again this week. Mm-hmm. That one clip, and I think that's his blood.
Rick's blood.
It looks like he's got a wound here.
Right,
on
that's
his
what
stomach,
I was thinking too.
And he's looking down, and he doesn't. It's almost like he's like coming to his senses.
So what's going on? Like, I think it's another thing. It's like at the beginning of the season, we got the shots of them burying Carl. I think it's that same thing. It's gonna take
they're gonna
forever till we find out.
Right, they're gonna.
What if he killed Negan? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Could be anything really.
So all in all, I like where season 8, where it's heading.
It's a good direction.
It is going a little slow.
Probably.
This episode was kind of an exception to that, but I mean, they spent all last episode like with Carl leading up to his death, and Coral. And we didn't, we only saw a few characters this time around, but like I said, it's better than just going on one storyline and following that all the way through the end.
Yeah, so. I thought it was a good one. What's the rating system we're doing now? Toenails? Something like
It's whatever you want it to be.
All right, I give it 16 seashells.
16 seashells.
Not of nothing. That's just whatever you want.
Okay.
What do you give it? What do you give it?
3 crossbones.
All right, that sounds like a good episode in my book.
Good episode. Pretty darn good.